Hello, everyone. I'm Nehemiah, a full stack software engineer. I've mentored several people in this space, and today I will be building endpoints to help us uh, book seats, okay, in a plane. So, like before someone pays for their flight, they must be able to see seats, okay, of the plane. How do they see the seats of the plane? You show what is called a seat map, okay, and they choose the particular seat and they see the price and okay, depending on the number of people who are traveling, if they have an infat, all things, okay, and they can see the location of the seats in reference to where like what can I call it, the wings are, to where the exits are, and they can set the things like maybe where the washrooms are. So that's what we are going to be dealing with today. Welcome, Linus, to the stream. You're saying hello to Nehemiah here. We gather again for another learning. Yes, and you're right, Linus. Another day of learning, okay, and implementing. So, of course, like I've been building on top of the Amadeus API and I want to get started. So the best thing to do is to go to their docs. So we can either use their docs or we can use the example. Okay, but we can start from the docs. Okay, so what we're going to deal with today is called the SeatMap Display. Okay, and it's saying, let me expand this so that you can see it better. Okay, so the SeatMap Display, and they say, and of course, look at the tag. It says REST, it's a REST API. It says overview. SeatMap Display API allows you to get information to display airline cabin plan from a flight offer in order for the traveler to be able to choose his seat during the flight booking flow thanks to post method. Okay. And they're saying in addition, get method allows you to display airplane cabin plan from an existing flight order. Okay, so the post method is enables the traveler to choose his seat, okay, in the flight booking flow. Then the get allows you to display one which exists. Okay, and actually if you look at our what we implemented so far, we have the flight booking, okay, already implemented here. Okay, so what we can do is we can use the flight booking ID. If I scroll, we should see, no, this is the body. Okay, we need the response. Okay, so to get the response, I'll show you the response in a minute. Let's go back to the browser and look at this. What they say this API answers the question, how can I see the available seats on the flight and pick the one I want? Okay, this is what it answers. Okay, so we're going to be able to do that. Okay, and of course, if I click here and I say go to API references and examples, you will see that they have an example. Okay, and this is the best URL. Okay, but for us, we're going to be using the Python SDK, like you already know. Okay, the Amadeus Python SDK, and it will do the API call on our behalf. Okay, so you can see there's the get, okay, which returns all the seat maps for a given order, and then there's a post which returns also the same thing. Okay, but this one is for booking, this one is for seeing what already exists. Okay, so maybe we can start with this other one. Okay, the one for the get method. Okay, and actually if you come here to the code, okay, their example, you simply see that they do an API call, okay, to by saying Amadeus shopping seatmaps get flight order ID equals to the flight order ID, and that is it, and they're done, and they simply print the response to data. So we can do the same thing. So I'm going to go to the code and implement something for that. Okay, so I'll close this and go to routers flights.py. Okay, and then I can close all these and go to the bottom. Okay, the last part here, and create an async def. Okay, this one can be called view seatmap. Okay, view SeatMap. Wow, look at what it's trying to do. Okay, so really AI is trying to be wise and to guess what we possibly want to do. Okay, so view SeatMap. Okay, so we know that view SeatMap is going to be a function. Okay, for now I'll simply return nothing. Okay, but for now we want to take advantage of our flight service. Okay, everything is going to happen from the flight service. Don't forget that. So I can quickly say Amadeus flight service. Okay, dot view SeatMap. Okay, for now it's just going to be basic like this. Okay, but this I'm also going to create a path decoration, a path operation decorator. Okay, so I'll say router dot get. Okay, so yeah, let me look at the AI suggestion. It says shopping slash flight or flight offers slash view SeatMap. Usually when I'm naming them, I want to name them in a similar way to how they are named in the documentation. Okay. If I go to the docs, uh, if you look at here, it says shopping slash SeatMaps. Okay. So I'm just going to give it the same, the same thing. Okay. Shopping slash seat maps. Okay, so I think it's the same. Yeah, just like that. Keep it similar, and then maybe I can close this, and then now we need to go to the service and implement this. Of course, this is going to give us a response. Okay, I'll say response is equals to that. Okay, and simply return the response like that. Okay, but now we need to implement this function. So I'll go to external services flight.py and then implement this function here. So I can simply copy this, come here. So in our Amadeus flight service, okay, I can minimize all these functions, minimize all these, and then come here at the bottom and define that function, okay, visit map, okay, and of course we know that things can go wrong, okay. So let us see what AI is saying. It's saying try, okay, response. Okay, the suggestion has gone, but we can still write the code ourselves. So I'll say try, okay, try. Let us see what the AI is saying. Say response equals to self.amadeus.shopping.seatmaps.get.data, okay? But of course, we know that this is not complete, okay? I'll accept it, but it's not complete. So we need self here. And looks like the indentation is wrong. So I'll add the correct indentation like that, okay? So this is wrong, okay? There's something missing here, and I'm going to fix it in a moment. But let me put here an except. I'll say except response and raise the error, okay? So I'll accept that. But you have to be careful what AI is giving you, okay? So yeah, response error is correct. And actually, if you even check up here, we have the response error imported. So we simply raise an error, and we know that the way FastAPI works, it will be propagated back to the path operation function. So now here we have to specify the actual stuff to get, okay? But also that I have to confirm that this is correct. We can go to the documentation, the example I mean, okay? So it is Amadeus shopping seatmaps.get. When you come to our code, it is Amadeus shopping seatmaps get. But we need to specify the flight order ID, okay? So I'll say flight order ID is equals to flight order ID, okay? But this other one, of course, is unnamed. So we need to name it. To name it, I'll put here a variable called flight order ID like that. Why does AI try to do too much? Okay. Okay, I'll accept its suggestions that here we're going to return a string, or I mean, we're expecting a string, okay, flight order ID, and returning a dictionary, okay? That's what we can say for now. Then here, okay, in our request, of course, we need a flight order ID, okay? A flight order ID like that, okay? And we need, of course, to pass it to this function like this, okay? Flight order ID like that, as simple as that. So why is it graying it out? I think the spelling, okay? Flight is missing an H, okay? Then remember, this is supposed to be, we need to check, this is supposed to be a request, a body param. What shall it be for our case? Okay, let's look at what I did here. Okay, on the parameters, so they sent it as a query. Okay, a query parameter. So we can, yeah, we can do the same. Okay, we can do the same and send a query parameter. I also want to name it the same way. Okay, like this, flight order ID. But wait, this is Python. Okay, I'm going to name it like so, flight. I don't know if this is more readable with underscores. I don't know what you guys think. I think this is readable. Flight order ID. Like this. Okay. If you actually look at their example here, it's one word. Okay. Let me just skip it one word. I guess it will still be readable. So like that. Okay. But then I have to change this. Okay. Let me see if I need annotated. Wait, okay, we have annotated here. Okay, so to add metadata to this, I'll say annotated. Okay, and look at AI, it knows what it's actually, it has seen ahead of me. Okay, so this is the type is going to be a string. Okay, and it's going to be a query. Okay, so I'll simply put tab. So flight order ID is a string, but in addition to that, it is a query parameter. So this is why I'm using annotated. And I guess by now this should make sense to you. Okay, so with this, with what we have implemented so far, we have our path operation decorator. Okay, and we shall expect, of course, to have a query parameter. Okay, flight order ID, but then I would have to insert it here. Okay, so I'll say slash. No, I think I'm starting to forget. If I inserted it here in the path, okay, this becomes a path parameter. Okay, yeah, that was, sorry, there's nothing, we don't need to insert it here. This is wrong. This makes it a path parameter, and of course here I would have to change this to path. Okay, but it's not, so I'll undo all that. Okay, and save. So yeah, we have our path operation, we have the path operation function, and inside here we are making a query, I mean a function call to this our service for fetching the seat maps. Okay, given a particular flight order ID. So it is time to now run. Okay, let's run our application via Docker and we see how it happened, how it performs. So I'll clear this and say Docker compose app. Okay, no configuration file provided. I need to go into the backend. Okay, see the backend. Then I can say Docker compose, because the configuration file is in the backend directory. Okay, not in the root. So let us see. Okay, it looks like everything is working. And if I now go, I can now go to here, okay, and show you to the browser. Look at the documentation. If I expand it slightly and I go to the bottom, you'll see we have shopping seat maps, okay, and it has flight order ID to be entered. Okay, so we can do the same for, what is it called, for our, see if I put a random flight order ID and execute, we expect it to fail. Okay, you get an internal server error. Okay, so yeah, this is it. So now, for now, we can even do it in Postman. I want to do it in Postman because in Postman I can be able to save some data. Okay, now let us check why we have an internal server error. Okay, so I'll go back to my code and see, look at this. It says missing mandatory query parameter flight order ID. Why is that happening? Let us look for the line of code giving us that. Okay, says query parameter not supported. So we need to find out. You see, this is the line of code. Wait, this side. Okay, says line 84. Okay. So, okay, using basic knowledge from Python, this is something we can fix. If you go to the definition of this, okay, of view SeatMap flight order ID, we don't have. Wait, I just need to look at this again. I might be lost and confusing my own self. Where is that specific line? It says view SeatMap flight order ID. Okay, if I go back here, okay, view SeatMap flight order ID, that's correct. That's the exact line. I want to go up to see if there's anything else I might have missed in this error to be so that I can fix it. Okay, so missing mandatory parameter. Query parameter not supported. Okay, so looks like I have to go back to the documentation and first of all verify something. This is flight order ID. If I come back to the service, okay, I'm seeing I have called it with the right name, okay, and I've passed it. So I'm starting to wonder what could be wrong. Help me out, guys. What am I not seeing? Because if you look at this, I have passed the correct parameter, okay? View SeatMap flight order ID. If we come here, it's exactly what is required, okay? Even if I said this equals to that, it should be the same thing. Let me just run it one more time. This is the issue of debugging on a tired day, okay? So missing mandatory parameter. Is it supposed to be called flight order ID, okay, with uppercase or like this, okay? This could be what they expect, okay? Let us execute. Okay, yeah, so the error has gone, okay? So of course would expect this one to fail. Why? Because this kind of order does not exist, okay? It does not exist. And actually, if I now discuss about Amadeus, they are very, very strict with their API. They won't tell you that this order ID does not exist. They won't. They'll just leave it to self and they'll tell you it's a bad request. They don't give you any message concerning anything. You'll hustle. But of course, now with some experience, now I know how they work. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is to generate an order. Okay. So we shall go to Postman, and because in Postman at least I can have my data saved. This is something I can delete. Okay, let me just save it for now. So I will duplicate one of these. Okay, I'll duplicate this endpoint and rename it to view SeatMap. Okay, view SeatMap. Then I'll come here and I say change it to shopping slash seat maps. And this one is actually get. Okay, get. And we don't need the body. I'll remove it. But what we need is a query parameter. Okay, the key is going to be flight order ID. Okay, key is going to be flight order ID. Then we need to put a value. Okay, but now I'll first of all save this and then look for an actual flight order ID. To get a flight order ID, we come here to the flight booking. Okay, and we try to send a request. Says could not validate credentials unauthorized. So we need to log in. Okay, so I'll come here and log in. Says username is missing. Interesting. Okay, so I need to create an account which I know of. Okay, but I think I had one using. Did I use these names? Let me see if I say try it out. I must have used maybe string and this. I'm not sure, but let me register because I've forgotten what I used earlier. Okay, so let's say try it out. Let's register user. Okay, so email already registered. So probably we can log in with this. Okay, let me copy this and go to Postman. Say we want to log in with that value. Okay, and this is the password. Okay, of course, very soon we shall have to change validation to reject this kind of weak passwords. So I'll remove this and the key here is username, but of course, on the front end, we shall display this as email. But for auth 2, it has to be sent as that. So when I send, we get a token. Okay. So I can highlight all this. Okay. Select all and right click and set as a variable. Okay. And I'll set it as the bearer token like that. Okay. So just save that in case, and then we come here to flight booking. We expect it now to be set for us here automatically. If it doesn't, then we shall have to do it manually. So now I need to send a request. It's taking some time. I hope that means that it's going to work. Yeah, and essentially it has worked. Okay, so we have a flight. Okay, a flight order, a flight which an order for a flight. Okay, and you can see the associated records. We have the flight offers. We have the traveler information. Okay, and so many other information. Okay, and now what we're interested in is this ID. Okay, so I'm going to copy this ID. Okay, save this. Then go to view SeatMap. So the SeatMap needs an ID like this. Okay, so a flight order ID, and when I hit send, okay, once you see it taking long, it works. So I told you I have now understood how Amadeus works. Okay, if if you don't if you don't give anything correct, okay, they'll just return to you a 400 bad request without telling what is actually wrong. Let me show you that for those maybe who might have just joined. If I say the flight order ID is something random, like something like that, okay, and I hit send, okay, say I even get an internal server, I get a 500 internal server error. But if I go to the console, okay, where's the console? If I go to the code, you will see that actually Amadeus gave a 400, okay? Are you seeing client error 400 bad request without actually telling you, giving you a message what is wrong? That is how strict these guys are. And if you're not like soaking on how they do their things, you can get very frustrated. Okay. And I tried recently, I tried to write to their support, but they barely answer. Okay. So I'll go back to Postman and change that ID. I'll go back to the flight booking, pick a proper ID. Okay. I'll copy this, go to the view seat map, come here, paste and send. Okay. Hello. There's someone from India who has joined us. If I mispronounce your name, forgive me. I want to pronounce your name correctly. Your name is Hari Krishnan. Okay, is that your name? Thank you for joining from India. I hope you're learning something and you're enjoying this series of building a project live on YouTube together with me. How do you pronounce your name? Is it Hari Krishnan? This is the longest name I've known from someone in India, by the way. I started with a person from India, but he was actually had a very simple name. He was called Divyesh Patel, but it took me time to pronounce Divyesh. So I used to just call him Patel, 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 because we have so many Patels here. But to call him Divyesh really disturbed me. It took me some time. Yeah, like in our third year, by the time we finished university, that's when I was able to pronounce Divyesh. It's so funny. I can say right now Divyesh very easily. Okay, nice to meet you, and thank you for following from India. Okay, I hope all is well on that side. So let's look at the result. Okay, of this endpoint. Okay, so you can see it is easy. By the way, fun fact, I think you've realized this is I don't know, the most successful implementation I've done so far since I began this project. You remember my first, not the first, the second, after the first video where we did system design, the next video we did, the next two videos, I had some struggles because I was still, I had just learned fast API and I was getting my way around it and trying to understand Amadeus and things were going crazy. Okay. I wasn't even successful at the end of those streams. It took me to finish up the work of the stream, then explain it in the next stream. But here, first time execution, yeah, and that's what happens when you're learning something new. You always get struggles, but as you continue studying it again and again, you understand it even better. So you get faster. Okay. So excuse me. So now we can continue. Okay. So let us look at the information we have here. We need to study it. Okay. So that probably if we can, maybe we can create a type. Okay. We come here to our code and create here in the route. Okay. Are you seeing this response mode equals to flight? All these path operation functions have response models. Okay. They have return types. So we can do that. Okay. Also for ours. But also we can decide not to. Okay. So no problem. Let me go back. Where is Postman? We need to study the output. Alena says it is successful because you have understood the underlying working mechanism behind Amadeus. Yes, that's correct. I now understand the underlying mechanism. But the first time, you remember, Linus, I was so confused, like not even say confused, but it took long to debug because I'm like 400 bad requests. But you're not giving me like a reason, because ideally if I was to design an API myself, okay, I would say 400 bad requests, then I add JSON telling you that there's a field with a maybe invalid data. Maybe I tell you username invalid data, but here they're not telling you that maybe it's the field or the ID is wrong. They just say bad request, and that is it. It's up to you to sort yourself. It's crazy. So let us study this result. Okay, so if you see, let me expand this, and if I can close collections. Okay, so I'll drag it up. So you see they have an ID, okay? Type is SeatMap, okay? It shows the departure, the same information for the same flight, okay? Then you see the arrival, the carrier code, the number, the operating, the aircraft, okay? The class, okay? This is very important. Then what we want is this, okay? Dex. This is the information about the SeatMap, okay? It's what helps you to create a SeatMap in the front end. And when I'll be integrating the front end, you'll see how I'll create this sitemap. Okay. So it says deck type is main and the deck configuration. This is the width, okay, and the length. Okay. So you can create the rows and columns in the front end using these values. Width of 5 and column of length. You can create a grid. Okay. Then they tell you that the start seat row is this. Starts from row 3 and ends on row 27. Okay. Then the start wing X is 3 and ends on 13. Okay. Start wings row is 6 and ends row 16. Then the exit rows is on row on index 10. Okay. So this is a grid. So now you see that with programming, sometimes you need to know some basic math, okay, like how grids work and like how a multi-dimensional array can work, a 2D array. Okay, if you understand how a 2D array works and how to plot value, how to insert values in a 2D array, and how to retrieve, to fetch information from a 2D array, okay, or simply basic knowledge in matrices, you can display this. Okay, and we shall, and actually people have done so many examples of this. Okay, we shall see what is existing and we shall fetch this kind of information and display it to the user. Okay, so this is the decks. Okay, then after that they have what? Facilities. Okay, so they give you the code LA, the column, okay, where the facility is. They tell you the row where it is, the position is rear, and they give you the exact coordinates. Okay, that the X position is 25 and the Y position is 0. Okay, so this is the first facility. There's also this one. Okay, So it has a number of facilities, okay? Are you seeing that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 facilities. Then they have the information on the seats, okay? So you see economy, 3A, okay? And they have the characteristic codes. Liner says, if possible, you can give us a simple visual using TL draw illustrating decks. Okay, I'm going to show you that. I'll actually not going to, so I appreciate you for telling me that. Then they give you the price in euros, okay? And you can see this one has no taxes. And you see seat availability status says available, okay? So I will close this. So yeah, this is in fact they even give you the coordinates for this, okay? So see for everything they give you the position. So you see for the cabin economy, which is number 3A, they give you the coordinates, which is very important, okay? So these are the seats. So seat 3A is economy and is at 00. It's the first one, okay? Our friend from India, Hari Krishnan has a question. Is saying, what is the tech stack used in this project? Okay, so far we have FastAPI. Okay, let me say Python. Okay, is the programming language for the backend. JavaScript and TypeScript programming languages for the front end. On the back end, we have Python, okay, as the programming language. The framework is FastAPI, okay. So far, we are very soon we're going to work with Redis, okay. We shall work with Redis. We're also going to work. Maybe actually, is it not what I'm using? Let me check the code base if we already have that, because we did some email sending, and I'm not sure if we worked with that yet. Okay, not yet. Okay. Then we have Postgres, okay, as our database. Okay. And yesterday we deployed it to AWS EC2. Okay. So for now we can say Python, FastAPI, Postgres, Redis, AWS EC2. In future, we're going to add things like Kafka. We're going to work with Kubernetes. Okay. We're going to work with, which is I take it I forget, GitHub Actions, okay, for the DevOps, okay, and the front end is going to be TypeScript, Next.js, okay, with Vercel. So that is the tech stack. So Linus, let me show you that. Let me go to tldraw.com. Close this, wait for it to load, and I explain to you how the SeatMap works, okay? So if we go back to Postman, okay, you will see. Okay, just to complete this, you see that we have a number of seats, okay? This is the first seat, okay? This is the second seat, 3B, okay? These are its characteristics, its economy, and it's located at this 01, okay? And it has its price. This is the price of that seat in euros, okay? Of course, we can change the price if we want. So the number of seats, many, okay? So there are amenities for seats like the leg space, so many things, okay? Things like food, is it chargeable through beverages, okay? The beverage type, etc. Okay, so we shall study, actually we shall have to study these things in detail when we shall be integrating, okay? We shall need to understand them, okay? So if I open here, I wanted to show you something. Okay, here they have more decks, okay? Decks for another flight, okay? So I need to close this. So this is ID2. This is the alternative SeatMap, okay? This is the second SeatMap, okay? But I wanted to show you this some information I need you to see. Where is it? Why is it hidden? This is not what I want. It's not aircraft amenities. It is supposed to be unclosed decks, okay? It are not arrivals, okay? If I see it, I will show you, okay? What I want to show you, it is the information that explains what explains things like, let me close this. If I go to decks, okay, Dex, then I close this one, facility, then I go to seats, okay? You see these characteristics, they have A, C, H, H, O, P, C, R. There's something, there's an array which explains this, okay? Aha, yeah, no, it's not this one here, it's another seat, okay? But we shall find it. What I know is around, it's among this dictionary, okay? I'm just failing to see it right now. But let me explain to you guys, like Linus requested, about the grid, how the grid works, okay? So if I close this and I find the dex information, okay? The configuration, you see, we say width 5 columns, length 26, okay? So I can go to TL draw and I implement them. So we have, so this is the first one, okay? We have the second one, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So this is how it works, okay? Then we have this one here, length 26, okay? So we need to have, starting from what? Actually from 0, okay? That is something I forgot to tell you. We have to count starting from 0, okay? Come here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you continue, okay? This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So you continue until you reach 20, 25 rather, I think, okay? Yeah, 25. So actually here it has to be 0, 1, 2, 3. We have to stop 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, okay? Yeah, so then after that, now you start, they tell you the start seat row is 3, okay? Meaning the seats start from here. 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3 from around here. Okay. This is row 3. Says, will you be sharing the source code on GitHub? Yeah, this is something I need to think about. Okay, because this is a startup I'm trying to build. So what I'm thinking of doing is this. I want to share I'll share I think the code of the MVP, okay? Then because the MVP at least will have everything that anybody can need or require for a flight booking engine. Then after that, the rest maybe I'll not share because it will be for a startup and I would want it to be private, okay? Private source code. But yeah, when I'm done with the MVP, I should be able to share it on GitHub. I don't know if that works for you guys. What do you think? Tell me. Yes, Jericho, I remember you. I can't forget you that quickly. Thank you for joining today's stream. I hope your day is going well today. We're just trying to interpret this deck, okay? Then they say end sit row, that will be the 27th row, okay? They say start wings X, start end wings X. So these are just the what? The rows, okay? So when they say X, that means the row, okay? Linus, I don't know if you understand this, okay? So if I close this and you go to things like facilities, okay? If there's a facility at maybe at column D, remember this column D, meaning these columns are named A, B, C, D, okay? So we have A, B, C, D. So in column D, okay, there's a facility. Where is it? At X25, Y4. So X, assuming if this was like row 25, okay, here, row 25, and it's saying Y4. So this would be 25, Y4, it would be here, okay? So using tools like CSS or Tailwind, okay, you would style this location in a particular color, okay? And when someone maybe clicks on it or when they hover on it, you tell them that this is a facility, you show its code and yeah, you show important information. Does that make sense, my friends? Then for seats, are you seeing? When they say the seat is on 3A, okay? 3A, you come here and check the coordinates 0 0. So 0 0 is here. Okay, so you'd simply come and say 3a. Okay, when you're now designing your front end, I'll get a color which is visible, maybe yellow. Okay, and I say this is seat 3a at 0 0. How do I know it is 0 0? Because of these coordinates. Okay, then yeah, you can now look for the pricing. Okay, seat status available. Maybe if it's available, you show maybe a certain color, blue. If not available, you change the color. That is how it works. Okay, so all the information is required here, and when I'll be integrating it, you'll see that. Okay, I'll show you. I hope that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, please don't hesitate to ask a question. Yeah, so this is the endpoint for displaying seat maps of a given flight order. So we need one for booking a seat. Okay, so if you come to the description of this one here, this is the one we want to go to next. Why is it not responding? So I have to click twice. If it doesn't, I'll just go back. Okay, so if I go back, where? I don't know why it's not showing me what I want. Is it my internet? Is it what? Yes, it makes sense to me. Thank you, Nehemiah. I appreciate Linus. I'm glad you're able to understand. Aha. So this is the one now we need what? To work with now. Okay. And if I go back to the documentation, you're going to see what I wanted to show you here. Okay, the overview. It won't hurt to read it again. It says SeatMap Display API allows you to get information to display airline cabin plan from a flight offer in order for the traveler to be able to choose his seat during the flight booking flow thanks to post method. In addition, get method allows you to display airline cabin plan from an existing flight order. So we are done with this. Okay, we are done with this last part. Okay, getting the cabin plan from an existing flight order. What we need is for the traveler to be able to choose his seat during the flight booking flow. So we need to implement that. And we have an example given to us by these cool guys, okay? Which is, I need to go here to post Python SDK seatmaps.py, okay? So this is what we are going to use to do, okay? And I've learned the hard way. If you don't follow what they are telling you here, you're going to cry blood. Excuse me. So actually, if I have to be fast, I can simply copy all this, okay? Copy this code and go to our code base and use it, okay? So I can come here and create the route, okay? I say async def, okay? Create, maybe I can call it book seat. Book. Let me first go back to this, okay? I want to think about it carefully, okay? Read this. It says allows you to get information to display airplane cabin plan from a flight offer in order for the traveler to be able to choose his seat. It's about getting. It's not about booking a seat. Okay? That is something actually I was going to get confused about. Because actually when you'll be booking a seat, I'll show you very soon in the next step where when you're confirming the price, you simply add the seat number. Okay? But here you add the seat number and the plane information etc. But here it's helping you to just get. Okay, so this post method is helping you to get information for the cabin plan and the whole seats for the first time. okay, for the first time when you've not booked. But when you've booked already, it means you have a flight order ID. So you use the get method, which you have implemented, okay? So this one here, which you have above here, uses an existing order, which when you've already booked and you want to see the seat map, you use this one, this first one. But when you've not booked any, and for the first time you need to view the cabin, okay, you then have to use this other one, okay? So I have to name it view seat map post. I'll call it post, okay? This one I'll say view seat map get. If you have a better name, please suggest, okay? Trust me right now, it's what time is it? It's like around 9:46 p.m. this side. I've been coding since morning and I've my variables have exhausted my brain. I can't think of any variables, okay? So this one will be at router, okay, dot post, okay, but the same endpoint, okay? This is shopping seatmaps get, shopping seatmaps post, okay? I hope you get it, okay? Then I can close this. I come here. Hari Krishan, I hope I answered your question about the code. I don't know if you're comfortable with that. I don't know if Jericho is still watching. I've not heard from Jericho again. How are you? How are you doing, Jericho, today? So I'll go back here, okay, to our service, okay. Put a function. Look at what AI is doing. I want to put a function it wants to import. Like this tool should try to be at least wiser. How can you import at this level when you're supposed to be importing at the top? Say define. I say view seatmap. Okay, I will say this is better what they have given. Okay, although of course I'm not going to take it. I'm going to change it. Okay, change it to that. Okay, from what we copied from their example. Okay, I don't need this comment. I can remove it. This has to be self that Amadeus. Then this has to be self that Amadeus. And instead of, then here you have to say dot data. Then we return, instead of printing, we return the response. Okay, return the response. So we just have to get it working. Okay, we have to get it working. We're going to pass this data from here by ourselves. Okay, for now, let me remove this. Okay, but we're going to pass in the correct original location code, the original location code, the original departure date, number of adults, and the max results. Okay, and yeah, for now I can put valid information here. I can say 2025. Yeah, 11 that from London to that. Okay, I've discovered when you use things like London, it works easily. Okay, so we want to just get it working. Okay, fast before we do tricks to have dynamic data. Of course, we're not going to leave it hard coded like this. We're going to change everything. Okay, so here we have this. So here I'll simply say response, just be lowercase. Come on, response will be equals to Amadeus flight service no dot seatmap view seatmap post. Okay, for now it takes nothing. That's why you say I don't know if you're a vibe coder, you can really suffer with these free AI tools. Maybe if you pay, that's when maybe it could help you better. Let's go to actually Postman. Okay, can remove this login, remove this. Then we're going to duplicate this and simply change it to a post. Okay, so I'll come here. I say duplicate and then rename. I'll say view seatmap. Just say post in brackets. Of course, even here the method will change to post. Okay, and it will reflect on this other side. So I can minimize it. We don't need any query parameters for this. Of course, we shall need the body soon, but we don't need to specify. But I'll send a request to test and see if we can view the seat maps. Okay, looks like it works. Okay, not looks like, but it actually works. Okay, so look, I am having a good day today, isn't it? We're having a good day today. Lena says it seems vibe coding with external APIs like Amadeus could bring chaos. It needs knowledge. Exactly. You can cry very easily, Lena. Trust me. You can cry. Now let me show you something. Okay. Assuming you vibe coding, okay, and then you left this as 2022. Okay. Let us Control Z. Okay. We leave it to the data which was here. You're going to see something I've learned the hard way from Amadeus. Okay. So this is a date in the past. Okay, but you vibe coding, you don't you're in vibes. Okay, let us run. You're in vibes. Okay, you see it fails. And if you come here to the console, a client error 400. Okay, you're like, okay, 400 means a bad request, which means I've sent bad data. Then you come to the error. You read line by line, expecting to see message telling you probably original location code is invalid. Please use only this and this and this. Destination location code is invalid. Please use this and this. Or departure date is invalid. Please use this and this. Or adults is invalid. Please use this and this. Or max is invalid. Please use this and this. That's what a 400 request, I mean, a 400 error means. It means that one of the inputs here is invalid. Okay. Maybe it's not supposed to be a string, or or NYC is not a correct value, or this date is in the past, or it is the wrong format, or adult is not supposed to be an integer, maybe it's supposed to be a string, or mark is supposed to be a boolean and not an integer. But you can't know if you read this error message. Okay, you'll cry. Yeah, so Linus, you're right. Okay, you're right. You have to actually with vibe coding, you'll hustle. So it's until now I've studied, I know that you have to put like a correct date here. Okay, save. Okay, I've not changed this to London. Let us try and see. Yeah, so if you're enjoying this, yeah, share the video with people you think who can benefit from this. So you see, we get the seat map. Okay, it now works very well. We get a 200. Okay, okay. So, but now we need to make this dynamic. Okay, what I want to try is to get a flight offer. Okay, so if I save this, okay, and I cancel this, go to collections, I want to do a flight search get, okay, for the same information, okay, and I show you something, and I hope I see these location codes. Original location code equals NYC, destination location code equals to London, departure date equals to that, adults equals to 2, okay. Let us send, okay. Let us send, and I want to show you something, okay. So here we get some flight information, okay. It's the first flight offer, okay. The number of flight offers, and of course we have a max on it for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flight offers. So I'll pick this first one, copy it, okay. Copy it and come to our code, okay. I want to test and see. I'll comment this out, okay. Then I'll redefine our body, okay. I'll say the body is equals to this, like that, okay. Remove that comma. Let me see, because it's broken, okay. So we need like to change it to a valid, can I say a valid dictionary of sorts, okay. So let me scroll. Wow, it's long, okay, really long, okay. So if you hover, you see they say string literal is terminated, okay. So we need to make it like valid. So actually we don't need it to be a string, okay. What am I doing? Why am I thinking it should be a string? Okay, this is enough actually, okay, leaving it as a dictionary. Then Wow, it's huge. It's pretty huge. Okay, it's pretty huge. So you see, it's huge. So I want this to be the input of this. Okay, if you understand. So what I'm going to do is try to go through all this and change them to the correct values. Okay, so all these false, 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 I want to change them to uppercase. Okay, I want to show you something. If it fails, okay, you'll know. I'm going to explain to you something which a theory I have about Amadeus. Okay, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong. So I'll change this to false. Change also this to false. So I think segments is okay. Price looks okay. Wait, is price okay? When I see those yellow signs, I think so. This has to be uppercase, true. Even this one has to be true. This one, and this one have to be true uppercase. Have I missed out any? This one has to be uppercase. Wow, there are plenty. Isn't this where AI comes in? What do you think? To simply rename them for us, okay? So I first change these to uppercase, then this one also to uppercase, then this one's also to uppercase. So yeah, I'm guessing I should have told AI to convert this for me to a valid Python dictionary. Learning the hard way, okay? But also there's a chance you can give it to convert it for into a Python dictionary and it hallucinates rubbish just because you've not paid for GPT Pro. You know, the things are crazy. And by the way, I've talked about GPT Pro and I've remembered something. It's supposed to be uppercase F, which I want to show you before we continue editing this. Okay. I paid for GPT Pro and I have an API key. Okay. There's something called that I'm cooking. Okay. They call it cooking. I'll show you soon. Okay. Let's go back. Where is my code? Okay. I think that is it. Whoa. Looks like there's one more here. How am I forgetting? Which means there are some I could have forgotten. Probably. Okay. So this is the valid data. Okay. That we have got from the request. I want you to follow me closely. Okay. Self the Amadeus shopping maps post took the body data from this a flight search offer, and it worked. Okay. Now this new body, this one which worked, I've commented it out. This new body was the result of this endpoint. Flight offers get searching still. It returned for us 5. Okay. And I've picked one of them and I've pasted them in the code. So I want to find out if it will work or not. That is going to determine a lot, by the way. I want to see if it will work or not. Okay. Is if it fails, it's going to confirm a theory which I have concerning Amadeus. Because I'm learning something about these guys. Okay. So let us come here. Okay. And go to post. Okay. Hit send. Internal server error. You see? Now if I go back here, okay, I see we get a client error 400. If I scroll through all this, you'll see that they don't tell you what is wrong. They won't tell you maybe you've given invalid data. What is this? Nothing. Okay. Then, as I was reading, I wonder and I go to understand something which I want to tell you. Okay. This request, okay, flight offers search.get, okay, will always give you the same result. Okay, so that's my hypothesis. Okay, and okay, but wait, that would be wrong. Okay, what I'm thinking is this: to be able to pass this and say self.amadeus.shopping, seatmaps.post data this, okay, you must get an information after a request to flightoffers.search. If you manually type it like this, like we have this, it will fail. And yet this, guys, is valid information. It was a result from flight search get. It's right here. Remember, we picked it. Okay, we picked it. And my theory is this: for whatever original location code, destination code, departure date, adults, this, you must always get the same data. I'm going to prove to you something. Okay, so look at this. Okay, for this, if you make another request, okay, the information the flight offers according to the rules which have been set should always be the ones returned. Okay, so we have here a number of 5 flight offers. But my question is, if this is how you're supposed to use it, okay, if this is the way you're supposed to use it, and someone picks flight maybe flight offer number 3, how will you know here that it is flight offer number 3? Okay, because the offer might have different things. Because if you look at the itinerary, okay, the itinerary could be different. Okay, and what I'm doing, I just came here and selected a random flight because I'm supposed to, I wanted to copy, like for example, what I want to do is to, for example, like have one flight I've copied here, come here to the body, okay, come to the body, say I'm sending JSON, okay, and paste this, okay, and of course convert it to a JSON string, okay, then send it in the body and display it. I mean, not display, but pass it as the body here, okay? But we're getting a 400 and we don't know what, they're not telling us exactly what is wrong, okay? And so me putting this body here, okay? This body you're seeing here is simply a copy of this from our result, from this, from flight search. I copied one of these and I pasted them here, okay? So this body should be the same representation as this, which I send in ViewSeatMap post here as post data in the request body. But the same thing is actually failing, okay? And they don't tell you what is wrong, okay? So you see, that's the theory I have about Amadeus, and I'm going on to prove it that what I'm actually right, okay? They don't tell you what is going wrong and they leave you hanging, okay? So I'm going to come here and remove it, okay? Remove it, and I don't know if I don't know if you guys have understood what I've told you, okay? So if I do this, okay? If I do, let me do this. I want to print for you the result, okay? Let me print. We want to see the structure of the body, okay? Just put body. But before that, but this is how you find out what is working, what is failing, okay? So yeah, you can print request body and confirm that this, okay, everything is working. We come here and we say send. Of course, right now we don't need this, so it's not applicable to us because we're not sending it. But ideally, we are supposed to. Okay, so you see, it works. We get the seat map. Okay, but we don't want it to be like this. Okay, it has to come as an argument to this function. Okay, and look at this. Look at the data we get back. Okay, it says meta, it says request body. Okay, and look at the result, the format. Okay, which means if I just copied anything from here, okay, from any of this, it would fail. You understand? Okay, it would fail because this format, the format, if you go to flight search and I just copy any of this is not the format. Okay, look at the format. They have a meta, okay, with a count of 1. Okay, then they have a links, self, HTTPS, Amadeus. Okay, are you seeing this? Then they have then data. Okay, so they have a key. Okay, then they have data. So this is the actual format in which it's supposed to be sent. Okay, so this is something I am going to be working on to even do more research. Okay, to understand how this should be correctly sent to their endpoint. Okay, yeah, so I hope you have understood that. Okay, and yeah, at least now we have one great success with SeatMaps. Okay, for a particular order ID. Now, what is simply remaining is to work on simply passing the request body here, okay, to this function, okay, and then yeah, passing it simply here to this, okay. And this is something I'm going to do more research on, and yeah, I'll explain it to you in the next video. Okay, so yeah, wish me luck, wish me success. It's getting quite late here, and yeah, after a long day I need to rest. So yeah, thank you everybody for learning with me today. Thank you Harry Krishan, okay, Linus and Jericho. I really and truly appreciate. So yeah, if you're enjoying this, yeah, share it with your friends, share it with, in your groups with everybody, and yeah, let's continue learning together. So yeah, bye for now and meet you in the next stream. Thank you, Linus. Yeah, I'll share with you what I find in the next video.